Welcome to Chicago Bears Now. My name is Harrison Graham. On today's show, we've got a Week 16 rooting guide for the Bears, amid draft positioning and slight playoff chances. Plus, we'll take a look at Bears versus Cardinals Christmas Eve matchup. So stay tuned for that later on in the show. You take a look at the playoff picture here. We're filming this live on Thursday, by the way. The Rams and the Saints play Thursday Night Football. So if the Saints win, they slide up to the 6th seed. Minnesota slides down to 7. If the Rams win, they slide up to 6. Minnesota slides down to 7. So just keep that in mind as well. According to the New York Times Playoff Simulator, the Bears' playoff chances is roughly 10% if they win out. So you're not dead, but you're not really alive. You're kind of in a coma right now. Like, you're breathing, but a machine's keeping you breathing kind of scenario. So control what you control and let the chips fall where they may. Again, that's why Cleveland was so frustrating. I mean, it's all in front of you. Cardinals and Falcons at home, 2 very winnable games. 50-50 type of game at Lambeau Field, who the Packers have all of a sudden lost 2 games in a row. But it is what it is. You got to press forward and try to make it happen. Now, let's be very clear here. The priority the rest of the way is the number 1 pick. If the dominoes bounce your way and you enter Week 18 with at least a chance at the playoffs, hey, sign me up for that. That would be awesome. But I would rather lose this week if that meant that the number 1 pick comes to Chicago, because your odds are so slim at this point in time. So hopefully that happens. We'll talk about what needs to happen this week for the number 1 pick to lean toward the Bears. It's not a fun outcome, but it's something we all need to be rooting for. Okay, if you do want the number 1 pick in the NFL draft, type me in the comments. And yes, even if you are in the camp of wanting to keep Justin Fields, you absolutely still want the number 1 overall pick because you want the biggest asset available. And in the NFL, the number 1 overall pick is the biggest asset. Okay, let's get into our rooting guide here. A little rapid fire. Seahawks at Titans. Obviously, Seattle beating Philadelphia did not help the cause of making the playoffs. So you want Tennessee to win this one. Again, playoff chances are ultimately slim, but if Seattle wins, that gets them to 8 wins. You already have, again, Thursday Night Football, a pair of 7-win teams playing. So the max win total the Bears can get to is 8. So you really need a Titans upset here to have even a slight chance. Okay, 12 Central as well on Sunday. Lions at Vikings. Again, Minnesota's a 7-win team, so you need Detroit to take care of business there. I will say this, if the Vikings lose this game, they finish Green Bay and then at Detroit, so they very well could lose out. So this is a big game on Sunday. Packers at Panthers. This sucks, but we need the Packers to win. With Carolina winning last week, and yes, Carolina wins, it helps your tiny playoff chances. Remember we said that last week? And now all of a sudden we're scared about losing the number 1 overall pick. That's why I said we should have been cheering for freaking Atlanta last week. We need the Packers to win. It sucks to say. I don't like saying it. But if the freaking Packers lose to the Panthers, it is very possible that the New England Patriots could end up in the number 1 pick slot. Producer Roley, who loves the Bears, but the Patriots are his top team, he's celebrating back there. They have the exact same strength of schedule right now, Carolina and New England, and that is the tiebreaker. The lower the strength of schedule would break the tiebreaker. I don't want to sweat this out the last 2 weeks, which it's still going to be a sweat out, but if the Packers lose this game, it's dicey in a hurry, folks. So I hate to say it, Packers need to win. I'm still spamming FGB in the chat. The motto is the motto, but damn, we need the Packers to take care of Carolina because, again, the number 1 pick is way more important than any slight playoff chance at this point. All right, 3:05 Central, Jags at Bucks. Again, Tampa Bay, a 7-win team. So any team in the NFC that's got 7 wins, you want to keep them there if possible. So need Jacksonville to win that one, and they've lost 3 in a row all of a sudden. Trevor Lawrence is banged up in the concussion protocol. Bucks have been trending up. Don't feel great about that one if I'm being completely honest. Something I feel awesome about is PrizePicks because I'm on a hot streak right now, and I'm looking to continue to cash out with PrizePicks. And the reason I was able to cash out initially is because I started ahead. I was able to get a $100 deposit match when I got signed up at PrizePicks.com/CLNS. Use my code CLNS to get that deposit match. And it was looking dicey early in the year. I was down, $60, $70, but with that extra cheddar, I was able to dig out of that hole, and now I'm in the green, and I'm looking to stay that way. Justin Fields, Kyler Murray, both more than on their passing yard projections this week. It's going to be nice at Soldier Field in December, believe it or not. 10 to win 30 on this one. Got a couple of other entries floating out there as well. PrizePicks.com/CLNS. Use the code CLNS. All you got to do is choose more or less on the stats. It takes less than a minute to make an entry. Several sports available. PrizePicks.com/CLNS. All right, let's take a look at this matchup a little bit now that we've kind of taken a look at the rooting guide, other games around the National Football League. Bears, Cardinals. Bears looking for win number 6, and believe it or not, their 4th straight home win. Cardinals obviously in the mix for a top 3 pick as well. They're looking to get to 4-11. Now, the Bears injury report from Thursday was this. Now, Mercedes Lewis had a rest day. I don't think Tevin Jenkins is going to play. So a lot of this could change, but pretty lengthy injury report as we get closer. I think ones to watch: Cole Kmet, Deontay Foreman, who missed for a personal day. Hopefully nothing major there. And then we'll see if Tevin Jenkins can crawl out of concussion protocol, but that seems unlikely. I'm not really going to get into keys to victory for the most part. Just things I want to see because, if you win, cool. If you lose, honestly, it's not the end of the world at this point in the season unless you're just clinging on to that slight playoff hope. Let it rip, Justin. I mean, who knows what your future is? Like, even Justin Fields deep down has got to be like, I don't know where this is heading. Like, maybe I'm here, maybe I'm not. We don't know Fields' future, but like, if it's me in that situation and I have no idea what's going to happen, I'm leaving no stone unturned. I'm letting it rip. I'm gripping and ripping. I'm firing some footballs in there. I'm running around. I'm trying to put on the best tape forward, regardless of if this is my team or if the Atlanta Falcons or the Pittsburgh Steelers want me, the Raiders. Let it rip. Let the cards fall where they may. See what happens. That's what I would do if I was Justin Fields. And as someone watching, that's what I want to see him do. Just go out there and just fire away. Number 2, Jaylon Johnson, pick 6. I feel like we've been on the verge of this. It's really the only thing missing off of Johnson's resume this year. He's been the best corner in the league, according to PFF. I think the coverage stats would reflect that as well. He's given up the least amount of yards, lower passer rating when targeted, has 4 interceptions. He's due for a pick 6. He's dropped a couple of them. It's really the only, I don't even know if you call it negative, but not awesome thing you could say about his performance this season. He's been absolutely fantastic. So get that pick 6 on the resume. Take that to the contract negotiating table. I think that would go a long way for Jaylon Johnson. I would love to see it happen this week. Speaking of Bears versus Cardinals, we'll be live on Sunday. By the way, it's a crime that this is a Christmas Eve afternoon game. This should absolutely be in the noon window, but it's not. It's 3:25 Central kickoff. We'll go live at 2:15 or so. So subscribe and join us for our pregame show. We'll stay live throughout the game as well and wrap it up with a postgame show. Bears, Cardinals, 2:15. Subscribe and join us on Sunday. All right, give me some more Montez Sweat sacks. I mean, talk about someone who's been fun as hell to watch. I mean, he's just been a relentless pass rusher since coming over from Washington. He's been better as a pass rusher than a run stopper in Chicago, which he's an excellent run stopper. So that's been fun to see. He had a career-high 2.5 sacks last week. He has 6 since coming here. He's also been a primary reason for several other sacks as well. He's just been relentless since coming to Chicago. Took that contract, and he's starting to pay it off already. So hopefully we see more of that this week and over the last couple of games. Give Tyler Scott some looks. Listen, I know he has some drops, but I want to see what he can do because I want to have somewhat of a clearer picture of what this receiver room is after DJ Moore because I hate to say it, I just think it's over for Darnell Mooney here. I'm not saying bench Mooney and not play him, but I'd like to give Tyler Scott some more opportunities. Dial up a couple of deep balls for him, get him the ball in space. We saw that last play toward the end of the game where he kind of just caught that check down and went like 25 yards. to get at least the Bears in Hail Mary range to try and steal that one in Cleveland. He can really do things with the ball in his hands after the catch. So I'd like to get him some more catches, man, and see if he can, maybe become a number 3 type next year. Because I think right now, like, he's kind of just a number 4 gadget guy, but maybe he gets you a little bit more and gets you some confidence with that player going into the offseason. And then, yes, it'd be nice to finish a fucking game here, man. I mean, you've blown 3 games with 10-plus point leads in the fourth quarter. Against Denver, you're up 21 late in the third, 14 to start the fourth. We all know what happened in Detroit and in Cleveland. If you just won one of these, you'd have a real chance at the playoffs. If you won all 3, you'd basically be a lock if you just took care of business against Arizona and Atlanta. But that's not where we're at. So if you're in a situation where you have a chance to close, just do it. Like, just, show us something. Like, show that fight, play full 60 minutes. That would be very, very nice. So who you got? Bears, Cardinals, who wins? Give us a score prediction as well in the comment section below. Bears versus Cardinals. Get those score predictions in right now. I got the Bears winning this football game at 27-16. I just don't think Arizona's that good. I don't know how motivated they are this late in the season. It's kind of a win-win for the Bears because if the Bears lose, then there's a chance that they could actually leapfrog Arizona with their own pick. They could get their own pick into the top 3 or 4. If they win, their slight playoff hopes survive for another week in all likelihood. So 27-16 Bears, and they improved to 6-9. Be sure to join us, like I said, on Sunday for this one. Bears-Cardinals will be live with a full pregame show and watch party. We'll have some fun with it, a little Christmas Eve fun. So stay tuned for that here on Chicago Bears Now.